Well, finally, some common sense. Let's begin. Now, I'm sure we've all heard it over the years, especially on places like Twitter, that people are now moving or identifying as all sorts of things, which, don't get me wrong, that's up to them. I mean, they could identify as a chocolate-covered teapot for all I care, but where it could become potentially a safety issue is where women who were born with what I'm guessing they probably refer to as a third leg are allowed in certain places as everyday women who actually haven't felt the need to switch anything, like women's toilets or maybe even female prisons and other places like that. And therefore, unfortunately, some might take that opportunity to commit a sex act against them. And no, I'm not trying to say they're all like that, because they're not, but unfortunately some may be. So I think with certain things like those places, for example, people may need to go by what equipment they still have downstairs rather than what they identify as, because surely it's more important that people feel safe no matter where they go. And it looks like the government agrees with that too, because according to Lad Bible, prisoners who have male genitalia will now be blocked from serving time in women's prisons in the United Kingdom. According to a report by the Daily Mail, the UK Justice Secretary Dominic Raab will introduce a new policy that will see ministers required to sign off on the relocation of prisoners who identify as female to women's prisons if they have male genitals. Raab's new policy will also hand the government power to remove any transgender prisoners from UK jails and move them to correctional facilities that coincide with their private parts. The Daily Mail claims that the new policy comes following a string of sex scandals involving trans inmates, and Whitehall have claimed that the current policy of allowing male-bodied prisoners to self-identify as women and then switch jails was putting vulnerable women at risk. And once confirmed by the new government in September, it would be implemented as soon as possible. Well, to be honest, I'm surprised that this wasn't the case from the outset, but of course, it was probably down to upsetting someone's feelings, taking priority over safety or common sense decisions, which unfortunately does actually seem to be the case nowadays in the woke world of 2022. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.